This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Happy Monday. Welcome
Happy
to the
Monday.
show.
Yeah.
Defenders Live is on your radio. Hi, see that?
Hi. Yeah, it's
it
good.
Rhymed.
Yeah, it rhymed. Yeah, very good.
I've been working
good
on
job,
my... It took me all weekend to write that. All weekend. I work tirelessly. Tirelessly.
Yeah, that's mainly because you don't work in a tire shop anymore.
No, thank God. I don't miss those days at all.
I bet.
A bit much.
Yeah. Well, that does happen. That they do get a bit much.
Kind of a handful.
Mm-hmm.
All the heat and tires and
All the rest. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You know, you work there long enough when you walk in there and you don't smell anything.
That's not good.
But yeah, because you walk into a tire shop.
Yeah.
And all you smell is that
tire,
pungent
the
rubber. Yeah,
like new rubber.
Yeah, it hits you in the face, kind of.
Yeah, like the brand new rubber smell, and you're like,
yeah. Never know. I haven't smelled that smell in years.
Really?
I haven't.
Oh wow.
Of course, I don't go into tire shops anymore either. But
Right. You don't have to.
No.
So, I mean.
No, the only smells I could that at the time I was really smell was you want a really in your face smell that doesn't go away is rear end oil.
Really?
Oh.
See, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
It is a smell unlike any other.
Mm-hmm.
Is you could smell that it's been created, but at the same time,
it's like, oh God. Oh God. No.
It has this nasty natural smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird.
That's all right.
So
yeah. Well, that is definitely a thing.
It is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's definitely a handful.
Speaking of handfuls,
there you go.
So
do you know how many times I've got to set that up for you? But go ahead. I can only hold the tea for so long.
Yeah, well, this guy couldn't hold it very much longer either.
That's not right. Tragic news.
Tragic news. Well, not quite.
No, it is.
Yeah, but not in the end.
Well, it depends on how you look at it because we're talking,
different strokes for different folks here.
Exactly. We're talking like a single stroke away from death.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying. When you're that close.
You got to strike while the iron's hot,
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But anyway, continue on. I apologize for interrupting.
It's fine. Yeah.
Your story.
Well,
here.
so the funny thing is, that I'll just read it.
Is it funny?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just read a little bit here.
Should we put a warning out real fast first, just in case? Normally we try to make this a family show, but
we're late at night.
Yeah, it's a children.
Whatever.
But it's still after 9. It's not only 9. It's 9 o'clock, and on the East Coast it's only like 4. So, West Coast it's only 4.
West Coast it's only 4.
Something like that. I don't know.
4,
5. I don't know.
Okay,
it's a huge difference.
You better.
Point is, should we say something?
Sure. Trigger warning.
That's it?
This fellow redefined mind-blowing sex after he suffered a life-threatening stroke while stroking it.
You know what? I failed today.
Why?
I did. I failed. And I've stared at this article that's on the prep in front of us.
Don't tell me that you've been trying to make jokes for this.
No.
Okay.
Worse, I've been staring at it the entire time, having an idea of the whole thing. And I have failed by not having pulled Clarence Carter's Stroking to play in the background as we read this.
You failed.
I failed.
And you didn't tell me to do it either.
I apologize.
So that is bad on
to
Dylan.
everyone that is listening. I completely
Dylan.
apologize.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Medical experts are saying that he's very lucky because he escaped an unhappy ending. The unnamed 51-year-old right-hand man.
51-year-old
right-hand man.
It doesn't 50,
from Japan.
That makes it. God bless him over there.
Admittedly enjoyed,
Oh, I apologize. It's 6:00 over.
Yeah. Doing the things and the stuffs
and
with himself. The one-hand mambo.
Getting to know himself personally.
Yeah. Getting to know all about him.
Getting to know you.
Taking an extra shake or two on the line.
All about you.
That's right.
I mean, you know what they say is there's nothing more important in this day and age than self-love.
That's right.
And he
definitely understands that.
Almost to death.
Yes. There comes a time and a place when self-love is too much, and this was pretty close.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I have an idea. I'm not surprised by anything. There's nothing new under the sun.
No, not at all.
Okay, so really, at the bottom line, nothing surprises me.
Yeah.
However, I've never read or seen anything like this in real life before. The closest thing I've ever come to this was Chucky from Sons of Anarchy, who literally had his fingers cut off because he couldn't stop handling business.
Right.
In front of it was a nervous tick, and so they literally cut his fingers off.
He was a handyman.
Yeah, I think the only thing he had left was his thumb, and they gave him a prosthetic that just kind of sat there like that, and he could wiggle his thumb. That was the closest to this I've ever a compulsive handler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. God bless him. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, it's fine. No, you're fine. You're good. He admittedly enjoyed pleasuring himself several times a day.
Good Lord. Several times a day.
Yep. However, one explosive self-love session went very awry.
Well, clearly. I'm going to pause just for a second. I have to go back for it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
So I'm not going to ask anybody, including yourself,
Thank you.
about
Not
self-love.
gonna answer.
What I'm going to present this question in is
Lead to fifth.
Is from the angle. There you go. It's from the angle
of the dangle
of doing the do properly.
Okay.
Okay. You and the wife.
You don't want to. You don't want me answering that either, do you?
No. Hear me out.
Okay.
I'm going to ask this question.
All right.
Because I know for me. This guy says that he's taking care of business. That would have been another good.
Every day.
Multiple times a day.
Every way.
Now, I'm not saying there may not have been a time in your life that you may have done it more than once in a day.
It's all right.
But do you think you have the actual ability or the interest or what have you to do that every single day, a couple times a day?
Working overtime?
I'm going to hit you. Answer the damn question. I'm trying to be serious about this.
The answer is no.
Like
no.
You could you could see doing it maybe every day, but not multiple times in a day.
No.
And if it is, it's like multiple time in one day, and a while for a while, and then another multiple time. You can't do. Okay, I just want to that's where I was trying to present it in that fashion, because
I'm already old in that fashion. Like, I'm old.
Even when I was young,
I'm thinking about it like
no. Even when I was young,
once a week-ish is cool.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Even when I was younger, I was not like that. I've never done it more than once in a day. Wait, hold on.
Doing it well.
Maybe anyway.
Yeah, during one explosive self-love session.
No, that's not the right. No, that's not right.
After he hit his peak,
ugh.
The serial stroker apparently was struck down by a thunderclap of headaches and severe vomiting. Unnerved by the quite unsexy symptoms, the man rushed himself to Nagoya City's University Hospital, where he was found to have low blood pressure and confusion, two of the telltale signs of a cerebrovascular accident.
Well, that's what happens when
Otherwise known as a stroke.
Yeah, that's what happens when you lose blood to the brain.
Right.
Like that.
Uh-huh.
It kind of starts to strain itself and accidents happen.
He drove himself.
Obviously, the stroke wasn't that bad.
It was a minor one.
It's because never mind.
It was a lesser stroke.
Well, it did say that
he just finished.
The session was over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So blood was being able to go back to the brain. So
Right.
maybe
And that's probably what caused the initial stroke in the first
It might have been. The brain's like, what the hell is this?
One stroke too many is all.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he went a stroke too far.
Southern Jackal over Twitter. Was he shaking way too much?
Yes.
He shook it off. Mm-hmm. Everybody is loving this one. Enter Slug 1 several times a day. Maybe the stroke was God's way of saying to knock it off. Like what your mom would do, which you just kind of thunk you in the head. Just boom, pop. That's all you need. That's
Except for him doing that is like, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah, God will do it. He'll kind of put your brain out your ear.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
He just went, doop.
Oblivion flicker multiple times a day. You got to give the boys time to restock the shelves. That's what I'm saying. It takes a little bit. And again, just the energy behind it.
I know.
Can you imagine how...
You don't like... Okay. All right. I
can't.
Even if... No. Okay. Biologically speaking, if we're going to go biologically speaking, even just the initial action of that, even if you're not fervent about it, it creates rapid heart rate, low blood pressure, and it can potentially cause dizziness if things happen. So just think about that. That's what guys have to go through every time.
Yeah. B from the SAV over on Twitter. And you were afraid of going blind, hairy palms, or carpal tunnel. Let me say it right.
Carpal tunnel.
I read it as carpet. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's not right.
Because I was hairy arms. Adam W. Johnson, the only comment that I am willing to make on this story is that I'm left-handed.
Then you're perfectly fine. So how's it hanging, bud?
No, I can't. Okay. Mm-hmm. The man has done this.
Yeah. For a while.
For a while.
Obviously.
Several times a day.
Uh-huh.
Over the span of many days.
Yep. Many, many days.
I'm just saying, no one thought that something was up when he walked in and his forearm was the size of a baby's leg.
Popeye.
Yeah.
Just the right
He
hand.
comes walking
just
up
the right
there
arm.
He kind of puts both arms on the table and he gently puts one, and the other one just kind of goes
flump. Because he doesn't have any biceps.
Massive thing.
He doesn't have biceps to work that.
Doesn't. It's all in the forearm.
It's all in the wrist.
It is.
It's all in the wrist.
He can't lift that arm, but by God, he can open up any jar you've got needs open. That's
just
for sure.
Plunk, plop it on.
Does it with the littlest of things. At that point, he probably just take his fingers and go. Doesn't matter what it is. Holy cow, dude.
So the risk of death by sex is actually not uncommon. Well, it's uncommon, but it's not unheard of. Let's put it that way. It's not unheard of. See, you can have a stroke during sex, and it's compounded. The chances of it are compounded while under cocaine or Viagra.
Yeah, which is why I'm never going to ever take that. I don't know why anybody... I mean, I understand why people want to. And
when you're old enough to where it don't work anymore, stop.
I mean...
Just stop. If you don't have the drive, then don't do it.
I wonder... Okay, so
I'm saying that now, but I'm,
I was going to say, we know...
But then again, also, like I said earlier, I'm already old, man. At that point, for that part of my life, I'm already old, and obviously that upsets the wife. But I'm old in that way.
Wow.
And I will admit to that.
I wonder if you broke a Viagra pill in half, would you only have to make sure it would... Because they say
2 hours.
If it's over 4, you say something. That's for a whole pill.
Yeah.
So if you break it in half, does that ensure that you stay under the 4
under the 4 hour? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. No. I just. Yes. Southern Jackal over on Twitter has got it right.
Yep.
The one forearm. It's all massive and veiny.
Oh. It's not right.
And the other one is all regular, and
Okay.
he has to buy, specially tailored suits because you have to have room to get that arm in there.
However, they say that even though it was near fatal, he should be thanking his lucky stars. He didn't actually achieve the opposite of the happy ending, as a ruptured brain aneurysm that causes death in 40% of the cases.
Wow.
Yeah. He was really close.
Wow. I think that's how I'm going to go.
Stroke?
Or a brain aneurysm. I really do. I don't know.
I think the aneurysm is definitely there.
I believe
Probably
it.
on air.
Make for a hell of a show, wouldn't it?
Well,
No, it would.
the next couple weeks are going to be sad if that happens, though.
No, that's true. But the ratings, man.
That one show. That one show will actually take us to the top. You'll be gone.
Hey, that's all that it takes.
You'll be gone, but the show will be well known. Dude, a guy died on that show.
Yeah. Just to see what killed him.
Stroke.
The stupidity of our nation.
Everybody being dumb.
Oblivion flickering over Twitter. Yeah, Doc, you told me I had a stroke, but when can I go back to yanking a Malaysian monkey in a mango tree? I was
That was
careful,
a long one.
I was carefully reading that because I'm like, death by snoo. Yes, I know.
Yeah. You know it.
Adam W. Johnson, at 51, would you have thought carpal tunnel syndrome would have been an issue for him? Or you would have thought.
You would have thought.
You would have.
But then again,
But then again,
Asian.
I was going to say, it's highly possible he's been
training all his life.
I was going to say, you don't wake up one morning and go, you know what? This is fun. I mean, you do, but usually you're 14. So the only thing I can think of is it hasn't stopped. So
Don't stop. Get it.
don't stop believing. My point is
Let's just say that he's been a bachelor for quite a long time.
just saying. When Mama said it'll make you go blind, she didn't say it was because you had a ruptured brain vessels.
But it's true.
That's true. Nights you say knee. He drove himself. Was it an automatic or a stick? And actually, in Japan, the stick is on the left-hand side, so it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't have worked.
That's the weirdest thing I had to do.
What?
Drive a car.
With the left?
I drove a stick shift car for some friends in Japan to the junkyard. And when I tell you that Japan is crowded,
It's crowded.
it almost warrants a Johnny Carson. How crowded is it?
It's so crowded.
It is so crowded. On the way there, I made a left-hand turn and ripped the left. Now remember, I'm on the right side of the car.
Yep.
Everything's all backwards. And I made a left-handed turn, and I ripped the side mirror off the door of the car by scraping it against a building, making the turn. That's how crowded it gets in some places. And this was not like I was turning down an alley. This was a 2-lane road I was turning onto. So Big Pharma Steve over there on the Twitters, just for everybody's sake. I knew if I said something, Steve would have popped in.
No! This is definitely a no. All right. So do not, I repeat.
Sorry.
Do not break a Viagra in half.
Okay.
Not dissolve it under your tongue. It really can kill you. It happened. Compounding pharmacies will make you Viagra lozenges if you're desperate and in a hurry.
Well, not that I ever plan on never using it, but thank you for that heads. I don't know. I was just, B from the SCV. The ratings would be great unless you go out the same way as your forearm friend or our former. I think I was supposed to say it's his forearm.
Yeah,
friend.
A forearm friend, because he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. He didn't go out.
Mm-hmm. Southern Ohio Jackal asking us,
it'll be more of a paper.
What sport was he training for?
Ping pong.
B from the SCV. Solitaire?
Ping pong.
Ping pong?
Ping pong.
Ping pong.
That's it. He was trying to get into
the ping pong.
It was. Can you imagine him?
Or in Chinese, ping pong.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he would. Can you imagine the guy stepping up like that in a ping pong arena
With the one arm.
Little Asians just like, I got this. And he just comes in and he's all in his heavy coat thing is over top of him, and it flops it off, and it's just this giant arm with a paddle in it.
Ping pong arm.
It was just kind of thud right on top of the table.
And that's when he goes,
Mongo ready.
I've been beating it for 45 years.
He turns around and serve. The ball flies through.
It cracks.
It smashes into his head and leaves a welt.
Sir, you're supposed to bounce it on the table. Crack the table.
Yeah. I am so sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Now I'm telling you, that just makes me giggle. Oblivion flickering over Twitter. If you're going to yank it like a champ, you have to balance things out. Take Viagra and muscle relaxers until you're like Gumby with a pokey.
Ew. Oh. And then you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That'd just be painful. Wouldn't it?
I think so.
I think so. That would just be painful.
I'm okay.
No.
I'm okay.
No.
B from the SAV. Is solitaire a sport?
That's right.
Is it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Could have been like cross-country skiing or something.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think of a good Olympic sport you could do one-handed. Can you imagine him with a javelin throw?
Shot put.
We're still waiting for it to re-enter Earth's orbit.
Shot put.
All right, there you go.
Pole tossing.
What's the ball one?
That's the shot put.
Is that it? Okay?
Yeah, that's got to throw his balls around.
I thought I had something else. There's always the discus. Can you imagine that one?
Dang.
For the safety of the onlookers, please have everyone in that general direction move to the sides.
As far as you can.
We cannot promise where this thing is going to go. Aliens turn around. What the hell was that?
UFO.
Yeah. Oh, somebody already beat us here. That's just, wow.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So a guy stroked himself.
Nigh to death.
Almost.
That's why I said nigh.
Yeah. Pretty close. Mm-hmm. And it's...
and he still, as a champ, drove himself to the hospital.
Yeah.
That, I think, is the most incredible part about it.
Do you think he closed his laptop before that?
See, again,
like, did he close his laptop,
or
was he watching on TV? Do you think he's a TV guy?
It probably. Here's the deal: is Japan
or is he like straight phone on one hand and then running on the other?
I don't know. This guy, like Japan,
he's 51. I mean,
very big into porn, though.
Oh yeah, it's a huge
porn
thing there. Yeah,
a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
everything is porn.
Know.
Just like everything is anime, everything is porn.
Everything is porn. It doesn't work that way.
The internet is for porn,
I guess. Nice to say knee over on Twitter. Sounds to me like, for this guy, every day was leg day at the gym.
Just his third leg. It's all,
it was.
It was third leg day.
Doesn't matter. He could honestly say. I mean, thank God he's still alive. There's still so many jokes that I want.
I know.
And at the same time,
it's like beating a dead horse.
I was going to say, I feel we've beat this horse to death. Not unlike what this poor man has done to himself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Think about it. He can tell people now that he beat himself almost to death.
Yep. Very close.
Huh. I mean, there's not a lot of people who could say that.
No. And I mean, he took the easy way out.
Oh. Can you imagine his whole house, if you're under a black light, looks like an Andy Warhol picture?
Oh.
I'm just...
Yeah.
That's not right.
You guys are so bad. I mean, we're making jokes too. I can't say much.
Wow.
Oh.
You're handling it real well. God almighty. You know, it's shit like this is why we're never going to be mainstream. We're never going to grow. And just so we're clear, the circle we got, the only reason why they're there is because they've been with us for so long. They're like, yeah, no, it's normal. It's
Are you
fine.
saying it's a circle jerk?
It is. No, I didn't say that. I'm saying most people are not going to be able to, they're not going to listen to this one and go, oh, well, these guys have it together.
Oh, yeah? No. I thought we handled that pretty well.
Yeah, well, so did he, and look what happened.
Yeah, I know.
Just saying.
Yeah, sometimes it just leads to disappointment.
It does. Interslug one several times a day means he doesn't need porn. It's true.
Well,
that's true.
Well.
Oh no, Southern Hot Jackal. That's a better one. Not just the arm wrestling. What's the slapping competition?
Oh, yeah, it's slap. Yeah, just slapping. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine him
slaps? Just slaps.
Slap the slap competition or wrestling match too. Well, no, wrestling match. Just the arm wrestling match. Just so we're clear, that's more chesticle.
It's the more pecs.
It is
the more pectorals.
It's up there. It's not so much in the arm. I mean, it is.
Well, it depends on how you hold your arm, but yeah.
Well, if you do it the way they tell you to,
then it's in your pecs.
It's in the chest. It's in the chest. But
you're like using your entire upper body at that point.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying. Normal people like us who arm wrestle, yeah, no, it's all in the arms.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Never borrow socks or dish towels from this guy.
Ew.
This is Defenders Live.
So for some reason you decided you're still here.
Yep.
And listening to us. Welcome back.
That's all right. Our pipes are clean now.
So is his. Follow us on all the social medias at DOA Show. Go to the Facebook page, Defenders Live Radio Show. Mm-hmm. Go to the YouTubes. You can go to youtube.com/C/DOAE Show. So it's so much easier to find now.
Yay!
Check it out. You can get tweets in. You can get comments in. We read them if you haven't already paid attention. You can get in that and help you out there. Moving right along.
I think we beat that dead.
Yeah, it's done. Let's moving on to some stuff a little bit more serious.
Oh, well, closer.
And yeah, it's more in that vein. In the face of missed vaccination targets, and really, we're going to delay it?
No, in the face.
Oh. No, we're past it. In the face of missed vaccination targets and a rise of COVID infections, the Biden administration and its mainstream media counterparts have selected a scapegoat for the continuation of the pandemic. Vaccine-refusing Republicans.
He was on time for that one.
Yeah, you did. That was very good. And the Republicans, if y'all haven't paid attention, are starting to crumble under that whole deal because, we're getting ready to go into election season and a lot of their jobs are on the line and they want it to be, we want to keep our job. We want to be helping people. So that's why a lot of them are pushing again as a Republicans, everybody needs to get vaccinated.
Allegedly.
No, it's happened. Quote, Joe Biden is done coddling conservatives and their anti-vaccine BS. That was a headline from a recent Vanity Fair article.
Not so fair.
Like Vanity Fair, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people use that as real news nowadays.
The article had ripped off a report from Politico that stated, quote, the Biden administration is casting conservative opponents of its COVID-19 vaccine campaign as dangerous and extreme, adopting a more aggressive political posture in an attempt to maneuver through the public health conundrum, end quote.
So he's being aggressive, but they're extreme.
Yeah, he's being aggressive, B-E.
Aggressive.
Yeah. Still yet another report from the Intelligencer Stated, quote, "The willfully unvaccinated are the newest Republican martyrs," end quote.
Okay, all right.
So needless to say, they're all making anybody who's not getting the vaccine as to be mostly Republican.
Okay.
All Republican, according to these people.
Sure.
These are the hardcore Trumper, like as Obama used to say. These are the guys with the guns and their Bibles who, that's what they're stuck with, and they don't believe in that vaccination stuff. And and is there a reason why you're skipping while I'm in the middle of
real quick.
trying to read?
You were still talking.
Yeah, but I'm done.
Oh, we did.
It was short. What are you looking for?
Go ahead.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for something else. Go on.
What are you
Go on.
Oh my God. But a brief survey of the media landscape surfaces countless more articles and sound bites making essentially the same claim. Conservatives are the ones refusing for the vaccine, subsequently prologuing the nation's recovery from the virus.
Sorry, I was delayed there.
No, you're good. Actually, find what you're looking for.
No, you're good.
No, find what you're looking for first. So I made the horrible mistake today of watching C-SPAN.
What?
Of the of the Jen Psaki coming out, and
why did you ever watch C-SPAN of the Psakis? What is wrong with you?
Well, we do a radio show.
Yeah, okay,
and
but what is wrong with you?
I was doing the work
for the things, and
I was taking one for the team. I was doing it so the listeners didn't have to be subjected to.
Well, that is a good man right there. Look at you.
It is.
It's a good man. All right.
I don't know if you've ever heard that woman talk.
Yeah, I have. When I was doing research for the team.
Yeah. She doesn't answer any questions.
No, she doesn't.
All.
She has never actually answered a question.
Because one of the big things
with a proper answer.
One of the big things they kept pushing was how about trying to get mandates and stuff done.
Mandates and stuff.
The vaccination mandate.
Mandates and stuff.
And yeah, it was. It's 2 hours. About an hour.
Hour and a half.
30. Oh, for me, by the time I realized it was on, it's about 30 minutes. I'm never going to get back.
Oh God.
I died a little inside.
I bet you did.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. But they did the whole time. They were sitting there complaining and saying it was, it's the unvaccinated. Here was the part that blew my mind the most out of all it is that she made the statement that we need to have everyone vaccinated so we can defeat this virus.
Right.
Now, I was watching it through Facebook, so there was comments and stuff coming in. I put this out there, and I'm going to put the same question to all of you. Mm-hmm. Can anyone name one virus that was defeated? Virus now.
Virus.
A
virus that's been defeated.
As in you get a vaccine.
Not a disease.
Not a disease. A vaccine that you given
that defeats a virus completely.
Defeats it entirely.
Not a disease. A virus.
A virus. Because she said defeat this virus. And I threw that out there. Part of it was as a question. And
that was specifically done by the vaccine, not by immunizations.
Well, based off of the way they're pushing this whole vaccine, quote unquote, now, that's exactly what it is. The vaccine is the only savior, nothing else. Which, by the way, they're also talking about having to have boosters for. But anyway, I digress. Can you think of one virus?
I mean, off the top of my head, no.
Virus.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because you can't.
Not off the top of my head, I can't.
To my knowledge, you cannot defeat a virus. Now, you can prevent, and you have vaccines for bacterial stuff, for diseases that way.
Sure, yeah.
You can have preventions and stuff done that way. That's kind of why we don't have polio.
Right. Well, we do. They changed its name.
Yeah, I know.
So polio is one of those weird ones where they're like, we've defeated polio. And then like 2 years later, the exact same symptoms started appearing in different parts of the world. Yeah. And they were like, that's not polio.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Yeah, it is, guy.
It's the same stuff. They're doing it the same with this COVID junk too. But anyway, I was just saying, I just threw that out there. It just made me think. I was like, There's no other virus on planet Earth, to my knowledge, and I'm not a scientist. I'm not a pharmaceutical person. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know, to my knowledge,
We are not heavily
one.
educated.
But I was going to say, but viruses, there's always going to be a virus. There's always going to be something.
Yes. And that's because this is a fallen world, and so there's always going to be something that's decaying it.
Yes. I was going to say, we're humans.
Yeah.
We are susceptible to everything. Anywho.
We degrade. Anyway.
We do. I just want to throw it out there while you were looking for what you were looking for. Hopefully you
good.
found it. But continuing on, is that really the case? According to a new data from the Kaiser Family Foundation, it appears no, at least not entirely. The health policy think tank published studies on COVID-19 vaccinations by race, ethnicity, and age recently that seem to suggest that traditionally Democratic groups, blacks, Hispanics, and young people are the ones not getting vaccinated.
That's funny.
Is it funny?
No, actually, it's not funny. I see this as obvious, like incredibly obvious.
No, I do too.
So you've been told since you've been born in most of these communities, other than maybe Hispanic and sometimes young people. But
the young people, the new generation is.
You've been told to not trust authority at all.
Yep.
Don't trust the police. Don't trust the government. Don't trust this. Don't trust that. And then, out of nowhere, everybody that told you never to trust the authority is telling you to trust them, the authority, and to get a shot.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense if all you've ever been taught is to not trust authority. If you've been raised in the idea of CRT, before they called it CRT, but the CRT idea, if you've been raised in the idea of the millennial generation and all the rest of it where you really don't care, this is not something that you would do ever.
Yeah.
Ever. When the government says for you to do something, you look them in the eye and say, F you, and walk away.
Yeah. It's amazing how that just kind of rolls out there. That they like you said, they've been putting it to these people for so long. Hey, fight the fight, dude, stand your ground, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then turn around and go, but we are the same people and you should listen to us.
Fight the fight. We support you, but we need you to take this drug.
Yeah. Do it for us. And actually, just reading it, like forgetting the Democratic part of it.
Yeah.
The groups actually fit. Like you said, with the black folks, is they've been told forever to not trust authority, to do, don't watch out for the man.
Yeah.
Hispanics don't take.
They don't take medicine.
They
like
don't.
that.
And it's not like it's a bad, and I don't mean it from a bad thing, but from especially the ones that come up from straight Mexico.
You got a headache?
They're not used to medication on demand.
You got a headache? Here's a beer. Go lie down.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, lunchtime will be here. In about 2 hours, you'll be able to have a good nap during that. 4 hours, and you come back.
It's fine. Yeah. Here's a beer. Go lie down. Wait for the food.
Yeah, you're fine. And the young people, again, it's the same thing. The young people are they're told they don't need it because they're young. Fight the fight. Fight the authority.
You don't need the authority.
You know better than everyone else. Just ask, Gertrude Thunderstruck.
You bet.
No, don't stop it. Every time. I hate that. It drives me nuts
did
now.
It, though.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
No,
In a study published this week, KFF reported the, quote, percent of white people who have received at least one COVID vaccine dose is at 48%.
That's the loneliest number.
It is. Well, which is roughly 1.3 times higher than that of the black people, which is 36%, and 1.2 times higher than the rate of Hispanics, which is 41% as of July 19th of this year.
Okay. All right.
In a separate study published late last month, KFF noted that the younger adults, those ages 18 to 29, are among the least vaccinated subgroup, with just 55% reportedly receiving at least one dose.
As far as age range goes.
Yeah.
They don't need it.
Yeah. Part of the reason for some confusion and exaggeration of the political vaccination divide could be that the Republican states with the lowest vaccination rates, such as Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Georgia, also happen to be the states with the largest minority populations. In its coverage of the news and issues and insights noted that findings from the Monmouth poll last month further suggested that, quote, Republicans are not entirely or even mostly to blame for the low vaccine rates.
Duh.
According to that poll, 70% of whites said that they had received at least one dose of the vaccine, while only 59% of those in minority groups said that they had. Additionally, though Republicans were far less likely to have received the vaccine than Democrats, more Republicans, 60%, than independents, which is 59%. That was not a far one.
That's not right.
Had, in fact, already received the first dose. Similarly, slightly fewer Republicans, 26%, than independents, 27%, stated that they, quote, likely will never get, end quote, the vaccine.
So here's what we're looking at. Overall, in society, you're looking at roughly about 30% that will never get it. 30%, roughly.
Yeah.
That will never get it at all.
At least right now.
At this current moment, unless it's forced.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be forced because 70% either vaccinated or immunized by, herd immunity, and herd immunity not being immunization by shot, but just by exposure.
Yeah.
Or shot is fine. That's perfectly viable. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
What this is saying is that while you have a quote unquote large percentage of minorities, the overall percentage of population roughly evens out.
Yeah. Yep. Adam W. Johnson over on Twitter. Given that most people are familiar with the Tuskegee Airmen story, I'm guessing that the numbers are kind of high in minority communities too.
Are you talking about the Tuskegee Airmen or the Tuskegee experiments? Because they're two very different things.
They're probably the experiment. Tomato, if you get technical. But no, I think he's talking about the experiment where they turn around and...
Yeah.
But no, here's the way I'm seeing this. This is just kind of proof, yet again, Republicans are always out to prove
right
that they're not the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they will go along to get along, even forget
even
the
for
health
the detriment
risk.
of their own whatever.
The Republicans are the ones.
They've been painted into a corner of being racist, horrible, no good, very bad things.
Even though they were the ones that ended slavery, they were the ones that...
Instead of standing up for those things and saying, look, guys, that's not us, and screw you for saying it.
Yeah. When
that's all they have to really do is say, yeah, that's not us, screw you.
Yeah.
We're going to be over here.
They went ahead and did it anyway. They're at a point where...
They
just
played
like
the nice
everything
guy.
else, I'm saying they went along with it, even because the Democrats are saying, this is all the stuff, this is the facts, this is how it is, this needs to get done. And just like, and again, this is the only probably good time I'll ever talk about Republicans from that angle, is that when it comes to actually caring about people, most Republicans, the reason why those numbers are higher is because they're like, okay, well, if this stuff is true,
then I guess we should.
Then we should be doing it because we want to help our fellow people. That's what one of the cruxes of the Republican Party has always been. Was supposedly to help other people, was to be there for the people.
Right.
So it makes sense to me. I just, quote, the Dirty Dozen of COVID vaccine influencers compiled by one research group is made up of people such as... in no particular order, the Nation of Islam.
Wait, what?
Or actually, it's a Nation of Islam member. A regular columnist for the left-wing Huffington Post.
HuffPo?
Yep. The head of the Urban Global Health Alliance.
You mean the people that tell everybody to go get the vaccines?
Yeah. A holistic psychiatrist.
That makes sense, but he's also a leftist, or he or she, or they.
A holistic
psychiatrist and former owner of an organic farm.
Yeah. Explain to me real fast what a holistic psychologist is.
Psychiatrist.
Tomato.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
One gives
medication and one doesn't.
Yeah, one just talks to you and one gives pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one gives herbs.
You need to talk to that guy in Japan for the first story. Several alternative medicine quacks and longtime anti-vaxxers, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
See, the holistic psychiatrist really knows how to get the wang up.
I'm starting to regret that story. Quote, not exactly a bunch of right-wing Trump supporters, the outlet quipped. In fact, some of these dirty dozen have targeted the black community with anti-vax messages. Yet instead of targeting vaccine-hesitant minority communities, in addition to vaccine-hesitant Republicans, the left is determined to take the more politically expedient route and attack conservatives alone.
That's because it's the WWE.
Because but that's what they do. They don't know how.
It's all politics. It's all gamesmanship. That's all it is.
The whole thing has been political from get-go.
Right.
Because it should have been cleared up. I get the whole, we've never seen this before. Oh, this is new. But okay. Got it.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is something that has a 97 to 99% recovery rate by itself.
So let me ask you. Once again, this goes
Sorry,
back.
I'm having mental flashbacks of the C-SPAN. I don't know why I subjected myself.
It's a bad idea. You shouldn't have done that. See, this is where the aneurysm comes in. But no, think about it like this, okay? You have an entire group of people that have been lied to their entire life, that have been told flat out that not only are you supposed to, one, fight the system, but you are supposed to rely upon the system so that you can fight the system. Not only should you rely upon the system to fight the system, but that same system is also the same group of people that bring all the drugs into your area and get you hooked on them already. Like fentanyl.
Not like fentanyl.
Which is coming across the border through Mexico. Guess where fentanyl is coming from?
Coming from?
From.
Mexico?
No.
We just said that.
China.
No.
Yeah. They actually have a manufacturing plant in Wuhan.
Stop it. Now you're starting to connect dots.
I know, right?
You need to stop.
I know. But you have this idea that these people are like, they're all useless idiots. Okay, that's what people think. These politicians, they think that everybody out there is just one. You're a voter, and because you're a voter, you're a useless idiot. You are a useful idiot, I guess I should say. You're a useful idiot. You're there to be lambs for the slaughter. That is all.
Or guinea pigs in
guinea pigs
when it
and all the
comes
rest
to
of it.
the vaccination.
Yeah, right. These people, they try to draw up these different ideas. They try to control different environments. They try to experiment with everyone's lives like some crazy, horrid, unimaginable. Well, we've seen it happen, so it's not unimaginable anymore.
But yeah, this is like a horror movie.
It's terrible horror movie style crap that these people do all the time.
You realize we're only like arguably a few steps away from like the dial.
Yeah.
Dr. Moreau.
That except for it's not an island.
It's not. Well, no, we're not.
We're not an island. It doesn't quite work that way.
But it did.
They've already divided us as Americans. They've already divided us into all of these different subsections and subsegments. And they've taken all of those subsections and they've made sure to insulate them as best as possible. And it's one of those things. When they talk about how they build frameworks inside of different laws and structures and everything else, that all those added little pieces that they throw in that create framework upon framework upon framework. It's those pieces. It's that information that we miss because we're not paying attention to it because we're focusing on something way over there.
Yeah,
squirrel.
They're yelling about racism and is that not a problem?
And while they're doing that, they're passing bills of multi-trillions of dollars and running us through the ground. And also adding in different scaffoldings to make sure that they will never lose power.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter who's in office right now. It has no boundary of political power or preference here. Nope. Republican, Democrat, Libertarian even, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everyone is set for the same game.
Yep. Which is line my pockets, give me money, give me power, give me control.
And I'll do everything to keep it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and then let me do what I can to slam the door behind me to keep it from ever getting back to the people or to anyone else.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
That's how it goes. It's telling you, I should have known better than to watch C-SPAN today.
You really should have.
Having the flashbacks, because there's so many.
It's hurting, isn't it?
Well, because I had to turn it. Well, I watched it to the end. Thankfully,
that's a bad idea.
I know. Thankfully, it was over about the time that the youngest had to take his nap. So
you could take a nap?
No, I didn't. I should have. But then I might have had nightmares. No, It was one of those things where I'm all but screaming at my phone as I'm watching this. I'm like, why are you? You're asking stupid questions. Why?
We're just trying to understand why it is that the president has not actually definitively done anything when it comes to voter rights and voter registration.
You want to know why? No.
And
I got the answer.
Dude,
I have the answer. No, I've got the answer. You want to know why? 2 reasons.
Because one, he doesn't want to be pigeonholed and connected to something direct.
No. Two reasons, and they're completely disconnected to what you said.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I'm all ears.
One, you're asking about his favorite ice cream flavor instead of actually what he's doing to him directly.
Yeah.
Instead of putting his feet to the fire as the media, which is what you're supposed to do, you're asking him about what his favorite ice cream flavor is, and then when he tells you Rocky Road, you ooh and ah. That is what is going on.
Okay, by the way, that has got to be the worst. Like, I apologize. If you guys like Rocky Road, that's cool. Rocky Road to me is one of the nastiest bouts of ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's like I'll eat it if it's handed to me.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, wow. All right.
I eat ice cream. Like, I'm a rum raisin
Done.
over.
Done.
And I don't like raisin.
Yeah, but that's still
Oh, yeah. I'd eat the snot out of it.
whiskey and clover.
Oh.
So good.
So Lumpy's had a rum.
Yeah, I know.
Chocolate chip and rum.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. And the other reason. Sorry, you had 2.
Yeah. So now you almost got
Sorry.
the train of thought now.
Sorry.
Ah.
Sorry.
Ha.
I know I
And
ruined
2, he
everything.
doesn't actually do anything anyway.
Yep.
The man is just a filler.
Uh-huh.
He is just a face. He is a puppet. There is nothing to him, nothing to this man.
There's no substance.
He has no substance. No anything. He has nothing to do. I want to point something out, and I want you to look. Anybody that's on the video screen, I want you to look, and I want you to see what I'm seeing. Okay? This is a picture of Joe Biden.
Okay.
This is a picture of Joe Biden.
He looks angry.
He does look angry.
Looks like, pull my finger.
That is a picture
Oh my
of
God.
Walter.
Walter.
Joe Biden? Walter.
From Jeff Dunham. Walter, in case you're...
Joe Biden. Old man Walter. Joe Biden. Old man. The only thing missing with Joe Biden
As he's got a full head of hair?
is that he has a full head of hair and nobody's hand up his ass.
Well, you can't see the hand up his ass. I've really
Arguably,
thought about
you can't see the hand up Walter's ass either. But
No, it's true. I'm trying to. So I'm doing a teensy bit of research.
Just a little bit.
Not a lot.
A little bit.
Because I've already kind of have a direct feeling. But
You got a feeling?
I think, is it just me? Because you made a comment that made me think about it.
Yeah.
He's just there. He's just a guy.
That's it.
He's just a place filler. Whatever.
He's lump.
He's lump, and it's not in our head.
No.
You know what this feels like to me?
What's that?
I don't know. Certain president who may or may not have been indisposed for 2-3 years of his term.
And then his wife took over. And she ran the presidency as the president, even though like that was technically illegal.
Well, not at that time. It wasn't like
At the time, it wasn't, but
It
they made a
wasn't,
law
but they
for it
made it
afterwards.
because-
They were like, "No, that's bad."
Yeah, I feel this is very Woodrow Wilson-esque.
Oh well.
That you just throw him. I mean, it's the same thing. You throw him out there, like Steve said. You don't ask any real questions, and then you just kind of everyone else is kind of dancing around doing everything behind the scenes.
Yep. Everybody's playing to the tune.
I'm looking to see what I can find any more connections on it. But until then, I'm going to just sit here and drink my American Pride Roasters coffee.
Oh, American Pride Roasters coffee.
Yes, that you get from AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
That is AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Yes, it is historically great coffee. Guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it in your mouth.
Even if he doesn't know what time we actually do our show.
That's true.
It's 9 to 11, not just 9 to 10.
Last time it was till 10.
Yeah.
Fairness on it.
No.
But you know what? Life is hard.
And people forget.
Life is hard. The world is crap. You might as well have something enjoyable in your cup. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go to Mojo50.com. Check out the awesome hosting shows over there. Go to our website, DOAEshow.com.
Oh, yeah. Become a defender with us.
Please do.
Also, don't forget about the Dear Defender section over there.
Yes, do that as well because we like to read those. Follow us on all the social medias at DOAE Show. Get your tweets in at DOAE Show. Use hashtag arm yourselves. We'll be right back with a whole nother hour.
Coffee.
Yeah, son. Yeah. Thank you.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Isn't it so?
Isn't it, though?
Ew.
I didn't realize Edith was that ugly. I didn't. I've never seen pictures of her. I've never bothered to look her up.
Didn't want to.
No, I knew what he looked like. He has a very,
Gaunt.
No, he looks like Dick Van Dyke.
But old.
Well, Dick Van Dyke is old.
Yeah, but when he
Yeah,
was
well,
old,
he might.
he just looked. Actually, he kind of reminds me of what's his name? What's on the Munsters?
Oh, Herman Munster?
Yeah, Herman. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Herman Munster.
Well,
in the
he
face.
was tall and lanky enough to be. No, so Spotify. And I know I told you about this. Spotify has this. Somebody put out this podcast called Edith.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
Where it is supposed to be it, and it's a star-studded.
Yeah. You told me about that. Yeah, I remember.
Cast. In case y'all have not been aware of it, those of you watching and listening behind the scenes, the guy who I'm blanking on his name, Clark Gregg, I think is his name. The guy who played Coulson in the MCU.
I love that guy.
I do too.
So
he
awesome.
plays Woodrow Wilson.
I'm sorry for him.
I know.
But still, it was probably a great role for him to do.
Well, Alex Baldwin did a voice in it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's all kinds of different, it's huge cast of people. And they're doing it basically as, the more I'm listening to it, the more it's supposed to be historical, but it's kind of, it's from Edith's angle. It's, her thoughts and her, but it's her, and it's coming from, she's telling the story. And it's almost like she's just a strong woman who did what she had to do for her country and her husband and blah, blah, blah.
No, you didn't. You took over the government.
You were
a completely unelected official and you took over the government. You had absolutely no power and you shouldn't have been able to do that.
Oddly enough, they were fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Give or take.
There's some...
Until they got to, I think it's like episode 5 or whatever. I haven't listened to all the way yet. I think it's 5.
Right.
Where they talk about the president watching a movie in the White House.
Which movie?
Well, they were talking about a cowboy movie.
Oh, no, it was not a cowboy movie.
That's what I said.
That was not a cowboy movie.
It was not a cowboy movie.
Now, he might have watched another movie in the White House.
Possible.
You never know.
It's possible. And they might have, they
might have just chosen a different movie.
Severely were downplaying. Even though they were open about it, they did admit, there was an admission that,
He's
segregation and race equality and blah, blah, blah.
He is a true racist.
Yeah. They played to at least, Woodrow took that, said you got to have this stuff in there. You can't
divide it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they released Clear there, but then they talked about the movie, and I'm like, you're not even mentioning the fact that it was Birth of a Nation. Like, it was
What's wrong with you?
It was the worst of racist movies
That's not
ever.
That's not a Western.
No, I wouldn't classify that as a Western.
That's not happening.
I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, ready, breathing. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
I'll never back down. Thought I was 6 feet under.
So, Let's Be Frank and PA dropped a thing about the FBI, and it brought my idea, brought an idea to my head. Something that I wanted to talk to you about or let you know about. I didn't know if you heard about this, but I wanted to make sure you knew. And it's not part of the news stories that we have. It's just,
But it can be.
it can be. Now, so you know all of the Department of Justice, all the investigations that they've been doing, and all of these different people, and China and all the rest of it, right?
Okay.
Like, they've had all of these investigations out, and one of them was about the Chinese military infiltrating our universities,
Okay.
and also about them spying on our people and sending people to get favors in for China, somehow mixed in with policy. There's also different investigations on a bunch of different people, like Hunter Biden. That was still going on for a while, and that going there, and a couple of other things. Yeah, if it has nothing if the name tied to it doesn't have something related to Trump, they've dropped all charges for all of those cases.
Of course, they have.
Every single one.
Of course they have.
Every single case has been completely suspended.
Of course they have.
Every one.
Because why bother?
Every case.
Somebody's
Every
pulling
case.
strings somewhere.
Oh, and today, I don't know if you know this, but today, Hunter Biden is currently, I'm guessing currently at this moment. Yeah, probably currently at this moment, he is finishing up his art showing.
Oh, yeah, that was today, wasn't it?
Where he is selling off his art.
Is that what they call it nowadays? Is art? No, that's
He's selling off
Is that what the young kids are calling it today?
his art. Starting bids $500,000.
No, I thought it was 50. 50 for paper,
Is it 50?
doodles,
Yeah, $50,000. Sorry, $50,000 for
was-
paper doodles. Yeah,
and upwards of 2 to 2.5,
yeah.
or 275,000 for canvas. I don't know.
But he doesn't know. He
It's
doesn't know.
ridiculous. Let's just put it that way.
Just know that he has no idea. He has absolutely no idea
Yeah.
who's buying what.
Nobody does.
But he did have a dinner with them before and after.
The interested parties, you mean?
Yeah, just specifically the parties that were interested in buying. He had a meeting beforehand and then a dinner after. That was the plan.
At least he was nice enough to treat him to dinner.
Right. And
Which
rub
is
elbows.
I was gonna say, but that's what every guy does on their date is they wine them and dine them and hopefully take them to bed.
Of course, yeah.
And that's exactly what Hunter Biden did.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, not in a literal sense, but in a
in
very
general,
figurative. Yeah. Enter the slug one. Enter slug one. So, guys, if Biden is just the Walter, who's the real puppet master? And that, my dear lady,
Is the question.
the $1 million question.
I'm not gonna speculate.
We have. There's so many
Because
people it could be.
We could get into a bunch of topic there, but I'm not gonna speculate because
I don't want to.
one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is it's wrong.
It doesn't
and-
matter. It's wrong, and it needs to stop.
Yeah. So it was Prime over on Twitter at DOA Show. Birth of a Nation, a cowboy movie? That's like saying Blazing Saddles is an alcoholism awareness movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true too.
True.
Or you remember the movie Crash? Car accident. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the subsequent one that's also called Crash, which is actually where people who actually get turned on by car crashes, so they deliberately wreck the car. Anyway, that's like saying
Weird.
those two movies should be played for driver's ed.
They kind of should.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's a gruesome thing right there. So anyway, a suspected gunman in a deadly Fort Worth, Texas shooting has been stoned to death.
Hold on. You said Fort Worth, Texas?
Yeah, in Fort Worth, Texas.
Are you? No, that's not how you say Middle East or Iraq or someplace like that. That's not how you say that. That's wrong.
Well, let me reread it again
Yeah,
here.
please do that.
Sorry. Yeah, let me make
Because
sure.
you
I got
said
this.
Fort Worth, Texas. A guy got stoned.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how that happens.
All right, I'm going to read it again.
Try it
Here you go.
again, because I think you're
All
reading
right.
it.
All right. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to read it phonetically. All right. All right.
Go.
A suspected gunman in a deadly Fort Worth, Texas shooting has been stoned to death. According
There
to
must be a
local
typo in this thing.
There has to
It
be.
has to be a
It's not
typo.
Same. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
Stoning.
the unnamed suspect reportedly opened fire with on a group of partygoers in the early hours of Monday morning.
Wow. Again,
Doing so, he killed one and injured three others.
and so they all got mad and stoned him.
Following the shooting, a crowd reportedly chased down the suspect and began throwing gardening stones and landscaping bricks,
Oh my God.
fatally injuring the suspect.
Oh, duh.
The Sun reported that that a local reporter, quoting the Fort Worth Police Department, said the crowd defended themselves with gardening stones, killing the gunman.
Okay, I'm still confused, just a tad, because you keep saying Fort Worth, Texas. Texas. No one shot him.
Nope.
They hit him with rocks.
That's right.
Wow.
A news release obtained by KIRO-TV noted a small gathering was taking place in the backyard of a residence when one of the attendants became upset and left the gathering. Authorities said that the unnamed partygoer later returned to the party and reportedly engaged several other people in an argument, prompting the attendee to open fire. Yeah, you good? Yeah.
No, I think we're, and I don't know. I think we're at a point now. At least I am. If I'm ever at a gathering or function or whatever,
Right.
and somebody leaves
In a huff.
in a huff,
Yeah.
and they come back.
And they don't look happy.
No. You leave in an argument, and you're not
We
coming
take
back.
you to the side immediately.
Yeah, we're like, no, you're not going in there. You're not doing this. We're not doing. No,
No. Let's figure
you
this
want
out.
to handle this junk. You wait until everyone else is gone. They're still having a party. Be respectful. Blah blah blah. Which obviously at that point,
It's not your party. You don't cry if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also why I may or may not be constantly carrying it all times, because
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying I may or may not.
May or may not.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't,
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
and sometimes I always feel like a nut. That's why I like the almond joy.
That's right.
But no, you never know. I don't.
I'm a Mounds man.
But yeah, no. If you leave in a huff, and you come back, if I'm around, you're not going back in there. Sorry.
No. That's,
I'm not
I
going to
completely
let you go
understand
back in there. Calm down. You can have this conversation. You can sort it out later. You've already made a scene. There's no reason to go back in there. Even let's say that the guy comes back and he has no ill will. He doesn't have a gun. Nothing dangerous.
He's
nothing
like,
like
I'm
that.
sorry, guys.
Maybe. But you know what? That's you need to approach. It's a pain and it's embarrassing, but you need to, if you're really sorry, you approach everybody later after it's over with and you apologize that way. Don't come back in and run the risk of another open thing, because the person you just insulted and had it out with may not want to hear from you right now. So it turns into another thing again. Let it go.
It's part of a
The moment is
part of that
gone.
whole don't be a douche.
Yeah. I was going to say, in not so many words, start being a douche.
Oh wow. Stop being a jerk.
But yeah,
Jerk.
and if you don't have a gun on you and people leave and come back, you better run or take his ass out. One of the two.
One of the two.
And not necessarily with a rock. I'm thinking like clothesline.
Just knock him unconscious.
I'm thinking waterboard. Pow.
Get ready. H2O.
My mama says alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
I'm done. Done. So done.
You shut up, Colonel Sanders. Anyway.
Authorities said that the unnamed partygoer later returned to the party, blah, blah, blah,
And
blah,
he
engaged in engagement.
Caused another ruckus.
The other attendees at the party then gave chase to the shooter. The shooter turned and fired at the other people. A group picked up concrete landscaping bricks and started chucking them.
Wow.
Apparently, they had good aim.
Somebody did. Somebody played baseball.
Somebody knows how to throw. Yeah. Investigators said that the group eventually overwhelmed the suspect as the suspect fell to the ground. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene, and another victim was transported to the area hospital with non-life-threatening gunshot injury.
Not to sound, the word funny is not what I mean in the actual.
Yeah.
How ironic?
I
think ironic would be the word I'm looking for. How ironic would it be if the guy who got carried off with the non-life-threatening injury
was the guy
who did the
final shot?
Like, pow, you son of a whack, and
gone.
done.
Yeah, probably. That would have been a good idea.
That's what Mudman might call irony.
The shooter was struck multiple times with at least one landscaping brick and was pronounced dead at the scene.
Wow.
So that was violent. That wasn't just thrown at you. If it was one landscaping brick multiple times,
That got chucked.
no,
I mean, that's
that was somebody had it in their hand. They were punching you with the brick.
not necessarily.
The shooter was struck multiple times with at least one landscaping brick.
Well,
They're not.
but they also were throwing other stuff, other rocks.
Yeah, I mean, they were throwing. Yeah,
so
no.
it could be the way they're wording it implies that they were, because they said they all threw them.
Yeah, they were saying that they threw him, but after they
He might.
caught,
Somebody might have.
they did catch up to him.
Yeah, maybe they
And so
did.
somebody just probably took one and went whop 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 whop.
Decided to.
They walloped him pretty good.
We've decided to make your brains part of the asphalt.
You heard a curb stomping. Well,
Yeah, I was going to say it takes American History X to a whole nother level.
jeez. An altercation occurred during the party at the location, resulting in two subjects being deceased. One victim in critical condition, and two victims' injuries were non-life threatening. Homicide detectives were notified.
See, again, you should have been in North Carolina where you don't have to notify them.
Just
Bury them in the backyard.
Yep.
Just saying.
Sort of his prime. At DOA show, at least one landscaping brick. Dude got Friday'd.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Friday, American History X, the whole, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other than there's a whole bunch of movies that fall into that.
Yes, one of his prime also on there at DOA show. Found the puppet master. Sorry.
I'm afraid to watch that. You know it's coming out on Netflix.
Yeah,
Or is
Masters
out.
of the Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the very first episode, they get rid of He-Man and Skeletor completely. They kill them both.
Then it's not Masters of the Universe.
But everybody else is what kills. Yeah, they kill them. They kill off the two main characters of Masters of the Universe.
So what the hell's the rest of the show about?
Happy fun times and rainbows.
It's Masters of the Universe,
I'm
not
not
Rainbow Bright.
I'm not joking. I am not joking. He-Man and Skeletor die in the first episode.
Well, I guess I'm only watching one episode.
No, you're not watching any episodes. I've already told you the plot.
No, I'm still going to see it. I'm still going to watch the first episode.
Oh.
Because I grew up on He-Man. He-Man was my junk, dude.
Yeah.
I had the action figure. I had all the action figures. Had the cat. Yeah.
He-Man.
I'm just saying. God, they ruin everything.
I
Why
know.
can't they just leave?
Well, there's one thing that they didn't ruin.
I don't. This is nice. This makes me happy.
Yeah, you're going to like this one.
Just a tad.
Just a hair.
Woke children's books, such as pro-transgender I Am Jazz, race baiting, Not My Idea, a book about whiteness, and the gay BCs. I see what they did there. Gay BCs have been all the rage among the leftist teachers, parents, and schools. But there's a new title in town.
There's a new sheriff in town.
No, well, it's a new title. It's a new book. It's not
Yeah.
actually a sheriff.
Oh.
That you can bet the woke won't want anywhere near their teeny weeny little kitties.
Are we talking about children or the cats?
Yes.
Because I don't.
Kitties.
They're also-
kiddies, not kitties.
Oh, okay.
Kitties.
I'm just making sure
Yeah.
because you understand where I'm
They're
coming from.
children's. Yeah, they don't
Got
want
it.
they don't want the kids to read this.
Okay.
But it very well may be just what more conservative adults prefer. Their children set their eyes upon. It's called Elephants Are Not Birds. A conservative activist author, Ashley St. Clair, calls it, quote, an unapologetic rebuke at the transgender agenda.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
This is it is the first title from the Brave books, which the New York Post reported will focus exclusively on stories for kids and offer parents a conservative alternative to the current culture activism that our children are being taught in schools, in the entertainment which they watch, and the books that they read. That is according to the publisher's website.
Okay. All right.
More from the paper. Company CEO Trent Talbot, who had his first child a little more than a year ago, conceived the Brave books when he said he started to notice, quote, that there's a real war going on in the hearts and minds of our kids, and everywhere I look was propaganda. And he is based out of Texas. That is according to the Post.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. An entomologist by trade, Talbot pointed to Ibram X. Kendi's picture book. I've never...
Yeah, Ibram X. Ibram X. Kendi.
Okay. It took me a second because the period threw me off.
Yeah. It's
Because it's X.
because he X'd out his middle name.
Because it's white sounding.
Yes.
Ibram X. Kendi.
Yeah, it's like Malcolm X.
I got it. I figured that out when I was reading it. It was just the period after the X threw me off, and I'm like, "What the hell's a Kendi?"
He might have also just put his name as Ibram Xavier.
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
But that person's book, Anti-Racist Baby, which urges parents and kids to, quote, make equity a reality,
How?
end quote, as content that needs a counterpoint.
Well, yeah, which is true because how? How do you make a baby anti-racist? And by anti-racist, what do you actually mean? Because when I see books like this say anti-racist baby, and then I actually read those books, it actually makes the baby racist.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works out. You know,
It teaches racism and just a whole nother level.
babies
They're not.
No. But babies and children are taught. That's the thing.
They're taught racism. They're
taught racism. Okay. And part of it is a genuine understanding of the situation. If you happen to be a white family, or let's play it for fun. Let's say you're a black or a Mexican family, or whatever, you're Latino, whatever. If you stick only to your kind, if you keep you and your family completely segregated in every way, they don't see any other color, deal with any other color. I mean, we're talking on TV and pictures, their social lives, everything is just your race, air quote. Then they're not going to realize or know how to act when they see another one. It's going to be curious. It's going to be different. It's going to be new. Doesn't mean they're racist because they've never seen it. That again falls back on the parent. The parent's job is to raise children. In the end, they're the ones who teach the children racism. They're the ones who teach the kids to not be racist. In the end, it's not a book. It drives me nuts. It can't even ask questions now. You can't ask a question. The paper said, quote, elephants are not birds, end quote, is about an elephant named Kevin who likes to sing and then is convinced by a vulture named Culture.
Culture vulture.
You see what I did there?
That's
they
Culture
did it pretty
Club.
good. That he actually must be a bird since he sings so well. But despite Culture bestowing a beak and a pair of wings onto Kevin, he just isn't able to do life as well by trying to be a bird. The post noted. Now,
Okay.
I don't know, just a heads up, there may be other spoilers to this story. In case you decide to
I
read
mean, it might be spoilers ahead here.
Yes, so we're clear.
Yeah.
Quote, the book is an unapologetic rebuke of the transgender acceptance and the growing number of young people identifying as trans. That is according to St. Clair's tweet. Quote, you get special attention now in a classroom when you say, hey, my name is not Billy, it's Amanda. That according to the 22-year-old author told in a paper. Quote, I'm going to have a little boy in November, and it's scary to think that he could come home and say, my friends all identify as something else, and that's how I feel. And I have my son crying because he's not supposed to put on hormone replacement therapy. Or he's not to be put on, hormone therapy. As you might expect, leftists are popping blood vessels far and wide over elephants or birds, and doing their snarky best to rip it to shreds.
Of course.
Quote, this is beyond vile. Twitter user The Big Gay Al wrote about the book.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
Al, you're gay.
Okay.
You're not trans. You're gay.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with you.
Even if it did have something to do with you,
It has nothing to do with you.
you had the freedom to make a choice.
And you
As a-
okay, hold on.
As a trans,
Yeah.
they had the right. They fight. It's what they say. They're fighting for their choice. They should be accepted and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Fight for them to do and feel as they feel is right. So why can't these other people who don't see it your way or don't agree with your way? Why can't they make that decision for them? Why do you get to have anatomical sovereigns over yourself, but everyone else has to be subjugated to you
And your needs.
and your needs or the needs of your group? Why can't you let them do what they want to do? It's this, you want to have it for yourself, but you can't extend it to someone else. And then you're shocked because someone does argue with you. I would go on a limb and just kind of say, you know what, that maybe if the trans, gay, LGBT, quilt bag, whatever community would stop making a giant deal out of this, okay?
Yeah.
Stop forcing it in front of people, start making it a big deal, and just live your life. Don't do stuff to draw attention, to try and be, groundbreaking and blah 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 and bold and whatever. Don't be the naked, colorful monkey flying, with
balls and and tits.
Yeah, hanging around, a kid's reading thing. Don't do that. Live your life.
Because what you do behind closed doors has nothing to do with anybody else in our society.
Yes.
Other than the person that you're doing it with.
That's it. And if it's a consenting adult, knock yourself out. That's what I'm saying.
Consenting adult, that's where the key is. Right.
If that community dials it back,
just says one iota.
I'm going to live my life and there's going to be people on both sides that are going to be like, no, I have to fight. And no, that's wrong. No. If that community just drops it, quits pushing so hard, quits trying to make themselves such a big deal, I would almost bet appendages of my body that everything would kind of mellow out. You wouldn't have, that community wouldn't have to feel like they have to fight so much.
Right.
Because we're in 2021. A lot of the issues that a lot of people think that the gay community is dealing with, it's similar to the civil rights of 1965. No, it's not. Not now. It may have been back in the 90s. It may have been back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not now. We're done. It's moved on. People are willing to accept you for who you are as long as you stop trying to make everyone else feel like crap because they want the same abilities and freedoms that you seem to demand. It's that simple.
That's it.
It's that simple.
That's it. By the way, over there on the YouTubes, Toby McAvoy, Rocky Road is bad. Moose Tracks, good.
I never had Moose Tracks.
I'm kind of concerned now because I didn't know he was a moose knuckle kind of guy.
No, I've heard of Moose Tracks. What is Moose Tracks? I know where you're going. I'm not falling for that joke. Thundor is my favorite. Yes. Yes.
Also, James over there on the YouTube's Big Gay Al South Park character?
Yeah, I know.
Is that a
Yeah, I
parody
know.
account? Yeah, probably.
No, well, the way they argue it, I don't think it's
Probably
a parody
not.
account.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
And
parody
there's a
account.
ton more things on here.
His name is
that-
probably Al, and he's.
I'm gonna try and see if I can get this dude or lady or both on the horn at some point. Try
That'd
to
be
get
awesome.
them in because I really
Get
want
the
to
book?
talk to them. Yes.
Yeah.
Piss off some more people.
That'd be right. Ashley St. Clair.
I got you.
St. Clair. Yeah, that one right there.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's the one.
Hold on.
Wait 1 minute.
Nope. Photography and design. Nope.
Here you go. Yes, sir. St. Clair Ashley. Ashley St. Clair.
Yeah, but I wanted to see if she had a website.
She probably does not have a website.
I'll do it that way.
She's an author, though.
Well, duh.
Arsenal Media Group. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't think she has a website.
I'll get it.
You hit it?
I'll get her done.
Get her done! There's Brave Books right there. Need to contact them. Bad things. Leave a message. What?
So, let's just say Neve was asking about D Live.
Yeah, what
he
about it?
He didn't know what it was.
Oh.
Tell him. So he's like, considering you thought it was something we put together. I'm like,
I wish. That'd
I
been
wish.
awesome, yeah.
I wish.
That'd be amazeballs.
Right.
That'd be so great.
It would be amazing.
Oh, yes. So good.
This is Defenders Live.
So, just so you know, for all the people out there, Original Moose Track ice cream is a combination of vanilla, peanut butter cups, and,
okay, because I was about to get
and
that.
fudge.
Ooh.
So, peanut butter cups, vanilla, and fudge.
Okay, I could do that.
You could do that?
I could do that.
Okay, it's got the nice swirling pattern in there because the fudge.
Yeah, I can
The
do.
fudge
I
lines?
can do that. No, that does sound good. No, I was worried it was going to be something weird. Like one of the reasons I can't stand Rocky Road is I don't do marshmallow.
Okay.
And I understand they're like, well, it's frozen. It's not the same. I don't do.
Doesn't do it. He doesn't
don't
do it.
like it.
He doesn't like the flavor. He doesn't like anything about it. Nothing's.
Yes, one of his prime over on Twitter, until allows Moose Tracks is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. Ben Franklin, probably.
Darn right. So good.
Let's see. Da, 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 da. At DOA Show, this is from Sweater's Prime. At DOA Show teaches that racism is good depending on who you're racist against. Shay would be proud. Unironically, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
We didn't teach that. We're just letting you know what other people are teaching.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, you gotta differentiate, bud.
Yeah. It's split hairs.
Stop saying we're doing stuff that we're not. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So you brought this story up.
I did.
I had heard this about the story. I haven't gone deep into it, but there are some things that I do know about this story. But I go, please
Have at
Please,
it. I will.
yes.
Voters will decide in November on enshrining a right to food in the Maine Constitution. That would be Maine, the state.
Like Augusta, Maine.
State of Maine, yes.
Yeah, Maine.
Which would continue the state's pioneering efforts on the topic, but likely prompt decades of discussion over what exactly such a right would allow or prevent.
Okay,
So
I
the
need you
state
to-
of Maine is trying to vote in November
Yes.
of next, election time,
Right.
About amending their constitution to allow the an amendment for the right to food.
Yeah.
To food.
To food.
To food.
To eat.
Uh-huh.
Right.
The push in Maine has been part of a broader effort to bolster local food networks that has been led by small farmers and lawmakers from across the political spectrum. It resulted in the first in the nation food sovereignty law in 2017 that allowed cities and towns to disregard certain state food safety laws for goods prepared and sold within their borders. You get what that's saying is no longer like, okay, for us locally,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
there have been several occasions that, and especially in Raleigh,
Yeah.
that there have been community or charity groups, churches and things like that who go out and feed
The homeless.
the homeless.
But they'll go out and they'll feed them
They
stuff
shut them down.
because it's either too high in sodium or it's local organic stuff and they can't prove that it's not poison.
Yeah. And so they have shut it down. So like there's certain spots, I don't know if it's still like straight up, you can't do it.
It's downtown
But they've
Raleigh,
shut
for
it down
sure.
that you can't hand out. You can't, like, to a point, you can't hand a homeless person food
Yeah, in a lot of ways you
in any
can't.
way.
Like even freaking McDonald's.
Yeah, if you go to the McDonald's and you buy them a bag of stuff and you drive back around and hand it to them,
You could technically get that food taken away from them by
and you can get in trouble.
yeah,
Okay, that's how
by
dumb
force.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, because of all these. Well, it's not safe, or well, it's not been pre-approved, or well, they have to go through all these things through the state, and blah 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 blah.
That's here in North Carolina, but apparently Maine has even more problems.
Yeah, Maine has decided that enough is enough. The constitutional amendment failed twice in the legislature before it easily advanced to the ballot this year. Voters will be asked to put, quote, a natural, inherent and unalienable right to grow, raise, harvest, produce, and consume the food of their own choosing, end quote, in a section of the Maine Constitution guaranteeing free speech, the right to bear arms, and other freedoms.
So
Holy cow. Now,
okay. All right. Do you understand where this is coming from though? It's not just what we were talking about.
No, I know that.
Do you understand where we're coming from, where they're going from with this?
well, there's a lot of things, but where it goes to, I remember the story in, I don't think it was in Maine, but there was a story about the guy who got, I think it might have been Nevada, who was growing hay for his horses. It was just for his horses. That's the only reason why he harvested it to begin with.
Yeah.
And he actually got in trouble with the state
Yep.
because he wasn't buying it from here, and he wasn't getting notified. He wasn't meeting their requirements to be able to harvest and do this stuff, even though it was not for human consumption. It was not for anybody else. It literally was to give his own horses basically free food. It's to help self-sustain his own farm.
Right.
And they shut him down.
Yes, because he was self-sustaining. He
Yes.
wasn't a
And the
part of
state
the
didn't
community.
like that.
Yeah, he wasn't putting himself as part of the manufacturing cycle of the farming community. And that's actually one of the biggest issues here. Agriculture has become a merchandise. Instead of being a place where somebody could go and say, okay, I've got 50 acres or whatever, or I've got this, or and I'm going to grow a section for my family and myself to make sure that I have enough food, and then whatever else I grow can go to the market, can do this, whatever else, blah, 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 and I get to choose because I own the land. It's my thing. I can do it. It's mine.
Or I can take all 50 acres and make it just for me and screw everyone.
Screw everybody. It's all mine.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine too. Of course, you have to find a way to preserve all that. But
Well, yeah.
but it's here.
If I want to grow it and waste the
Right.
three quarters of it, that's mine to be
That's
wasted.
your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the deal, right? That's what you want to be able to do. You can't do that in the United States.
Yep. It's weird, isn't it? You can't.
It's really weird.
You can't operate and be free on your own land.
You can't truly be an agricultural farmer.
Oh.
Or even, in a lot of ways, pig farmer or any sort of cattle or livestock. You cannot be a farmer without getting approval first. Mm-hmm. You have to go through a system. You have to verify that you're not doing something that's already, one, overproduced, or two, something that they don't want, that the government doesn't want. This is how it is. The government says you're going to produce something that I don't want you to produce because that you don't want to produce because I need it. And by the way, if you produce anything I don't want you to produce, I'm going to fine, penalize, and take your land.
Have you ever noticed too? And I don't know about anybody else who happens to be in the rural areas like that. I don't know if you personally have seen this. I know I have. And I can't get a direct answer as to why the hell this is going on.
Sure.
So, to operate a farm is not cheap.
No, it's incredibly expensive.
Incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
Anybody who's played, Farm Simulator 19
Knows.
or above knows.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Southern Ohio Jackal. We all know that maintaining a farm of any size, and I mean a legit farm, several acres, barns, tractors, the whole shebang.
Right.
To operate and maintain
More than just a garden in your backyard.
Yeah. If you have to use a tractor, odds are I would count it as a farm, even if it's a small one. It's not cheap to do all this. I've seen
the tractor itself.
Yeah, I know. Around here, it has been more than once, and especially with corn, is when I've really noticed.
Yeah.
Is there would be fields of corn
Straight corn subsidy.
that grow, come to harvest, and never get harvested. They wilt and die on the stalk,
On the vine, yeah.
and then they just come through and plow it up later to do it all again next year.
Yep.
And it is
Because they're forced to grow it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting paid to grow it, but they can't sell it.
Yep. So they just let it rot there. It is incredible to drive past fields and you look at it and you're going, wow, that's clearly
It's
not
a lot of waste.
Yeah, that's clearly not been plucked. That's not been picked. That's not been.
Can I just walk through and get some corn, please?
I have.
Have you?
Because what are they going to do?
They're not gonna do anything.
What are they going to do? Arrest me? You're letting it rot. You're throwing it away. What am I doing wrong?
Right. You're actually taking advantage of the fact that you're going to throw away this good
Now,
food.
to be fair, I'm not a. Damn it. Where'd it go?
There.
To be fair.
That's the first time in a while.
I know, yeah. You did good. You've been doing pretty well.
It's been so long, I forgot where it was at.
There. To be fair,
I'm not a big fan of corn on the cob. I like corn, but I'm not on the cob. It
always
gets
shuck
in
it.
gets in my teeth.
you can always
I know that, but I mean, it's
cut it off. Actually, I really I like taking corn on the cob and taking a sharp knife and just
yeah, I'll do that too.
and
But I
then
don't-
just because it comes off in sheets.
Yeah,
And you get like a giant square of corn that you can just plop in your. That's
can
really
handle
good. I
that.
like that.
I can handle that. I don't like eating into it. It gets stuck in the front parts of my teeth, and it drives me nuts.
Oh yeah, it's the same.
Same
thing.
reason I don't like popcorn.
Yeah, same idea.
I'm just saying. But anyway, I was going through all that. It's incredible to drive around here because North Carolina, especially when I was a kid growing up, was the number one manufacturer, number one producer of tobacco for the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally could not spit without hitting a tobacco field.
Oh yeah, I used to be able to drive anywhere. Like we could drive anywhere here. I say I drive. I was riding in the car
Yeah.
when I was a kid. Drive any like 10, 15 minutes in any direction, you could find at least one farm of tobacco.
And I learned that was
That's not that long ago.
I learned a lot about tobacco. I learned one year for boredom's sake. I was out of school. Everything was fine. My mom said it was cool. Just don't go short. I spent the entire day walking with Mexicans, topping tobacco,
Yeah,
just like them. And I mean, I worked a full day.
with them,
Didn't get paid a dime.
you just did it.
Just did it because I was bored.
Yeah,
And I learned so so much
About tobacco.
about tobacco. And nowadays, like it's nothing. There's soybean, there's corn.
It's a
there's all
soy.
this-
Yeah.
It's like
It's soy, corn, and wheat.
and if you have tobacco, it's very small.
And that is for here, which tobacco is the cash crop of North Carolina.
Well, it was.
Still.
Well,
Technically still.
yeah, but
Like if you're talking about a crop that's not subsidized by the government, but
that
a
is
cash
true.
crop.
Oh, no, yeah.
It is
you're
a
right.
non-subsidized cash crop for the government, and that is for sure. That is
yeah.
that is honesty.
Yeah, whoever grows tobacco in North Carolina is not getting subsidized.
No.
Promise you that.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the story. The change is likely to have limited short-term effects, and the long-term effects are uncertain. It is intended to keep food regulations in place and does not address access to food as some international constitutions do. It could set a limit on future food regulations in state courts and be a main feature in a long debate over how sweeping any new right might be.
Yeah.
Now, just to pause, that does bother me a bit. How sweeping a right might be?
Who's right? Are we talking about an individual's right, or are we talking about a state's right? Because
Well-
there's very different things, and we got to make sure that we're understanding that.
Well, no, and I got that, but I would argue if you're going to term it as a right, it's kind of hard to look at it negatively, in my opinion. Now, I mean, you're right. Like states' rights could be, same as dictatorial, but.
Yeah, it's very true.
But having said that, though, like when I hear the right, it's like, well, wait a minute, that's
Yeah. See, that's there you go. James over there on the YouTube's letting us know a couple things. One, corn futures have to be protected.
Of course they do.
Two, you got a nice nicotine high too, probably when you were walking around the fields.
I did.
Didn't even think about it. And three, you also have to have the right to grow tobacco. Tobacco grower permits are like New York City cab badges.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't play around. It just
No, you have
irritating.
to get access to it by the government, by the local authority.
Yeah. Let's see. Toby McAvoy over there is the main food is a right constitutional amendment launched by Bill Gates given the amount of nationwide farmland he owns. Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, maybe, but this is specifically in Maine.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere low, obscure and back out of there like a Maine.
And this was done before he was really kind of out of Microsoft, so I don't think so.
Yeah. At DOA Show, over by from Sweatimus Prime over at DOA Show, when you can make more off your crop than with the subsidy, then you'd get paid to not grow it.
Right.
And you're doing it right.
That's
true.
true. Adam W. Johnson, being from Nebraska, there are a lot of things I've done in a cornfield. The not obscene things I've done have included drinking underage and sampling the products.
Well, you can't go into a cornfield and not sample it if it's
It's
ready.
a cornfield and it's ready.
That's what you do.
You got to try the corn.
I've always wanted to go to some place like Nebraska, kind of, the flatland or that wide open flyover states, just so I can look at the flow of the green.
Just to watch.
Now, I'm very much a woods fellow. Like
He'd be a woodsman.
I am.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
I could not live in the Midwest.
Because you can't see the trees because there aren't any.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
There's no trees.
You have no idea when you.
That's not true, but it's
it to a point it is.
Yeah.
To a point it is.
The trees can't block your view.
Yeah, that's the problem. And on visiting to look, it's a beautiful thing. I like the storms. I like, but somebody who has been sheltered in the trees his entire life, when you go out and there's no trees, you feel very vulnerable.
Very open.
Yeah, because
It's vast.
trees take care of you.
They protect, they shelter, they.
One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to living anywhere in any house is like how many trees are around the house. Because that's why I live in the middle of nowhere. Trees block the wind in the winter to keep the house from completely freezing. All the shade from the leaves keeps it cooler in the summer.
Yep.
It's just
It's there.
because of the trees. North Carolina doesn't get as near as many tornadoes.
Right.
I mean, doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Right. But
it does happen.
But it does block the
It
flow.
blocks a lot and it kills it real fast. That's why 9 times, I say 9 times, that's why when a hurricane hits us, it dies very quickly, not just because it's on land, but because of the trees. I love it. And so I would love to go to like Nebraska or Wyoming or places like that and see that vast wide openness and go, wow, so this is what it's like to be naked and exposed, and then go home to hide in my trees.
To be protected.
Yes.
Yeah. Swidham's prime at Dylan Lyles would be a woodsman. Quick, hide the witch.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
He sleeps all night and he works all day.
Maine's historical limits on agriculture, hunting, and other food policy areas would be a key guidepost for the courts deciding on how to interpret amendments, said Dimitri Bam, a constitutional law professor at the University of Maine School of Law. He noted that despite the sweeping wording of the amendment, every constitutional freedom is subject to reasonable limits.
Do you think he should end everything with his last name?
I think you should too. Bam! I don't like, no, not every constitutional freedom is subject to reasonable limits. No, they're not.
No. Constitutional freedoms are not subject to limits.
No.
They're freedoms.
If it's a freedom, there's no limit.
And it's not constitutional freedom.
Well, he's referring to the state constitution.
I understand
albeit.
that. But no.
I know. But you can't say freedom and say limits. There's no limit.
Unless you're saying, I am going to limit your freedom, thus making it so you don't have any.
No, because I know what they're doing here.
Right.
And they shouldn't be doing it this way. They're kind of convoluting the whole thing. They're trying, and I would